Kalpa World School,
Yeah.
we have planned a no bag policy. And we want them to come happily and go happily.
Hello and welcome to yet another segment of this talk. My name is Sami Khan, and today we have a special guest with us, the founder and CEO of Hi Kalpa, Shalini Sharma. Shalini, hi, welcome, and thank you for being with us today. So before we start things off, a famous Shakespearean quote comes to mind. What's in a name? So let's start with that. What's in the name Hi Kalpa?
The name Hi Kalpa comes with a lot of thoughts in mind. The name Hi Kalpa comes with the two words separately, Hi and Kalpa. Okay.
Right.
So Kalpa is taken from a very famous Kalpa Vriksha. Hi comes from our parent company, Hi Kalpa.
So let's start with the most common issue that parents face these days. That is picking the right preschool for the kids. Well, as you know, this is the first step of education, right? And most of the time, we often pick the nearest preschool to our home. So can you tell us how a parent should go about picking the right preschool for the kids?
When it comes to preschooling, the foremost thing comes to my mind is the overall development of the child. It is physical development, it is social development, it is emotional development, and it is also the academic development. In a good preschool, you should have all these factors combined together for the overall development of the child, to build the critical thinking, the inquiry-based approach, to build their emotional intelligence along with the academic intelligence.
Right. So Hi Kalpa incorporates Finnish and STEAM-based curriculum, right?
Exactly.
So how is that different from what existing schools offer?
We have associated with the Finland-based group. Miss Mila Vanderberg is CEO and co-founder. So Mila takes our teachers training. She trains our teachers on experiential based learning especially. I am a fan of Finland education system. So that is why it was again a vision to incorporate the Finland based pedagogy in the Hi Kalpa pedagogy.
You rightly mentioned that it's a very unique and disruptive approach towards early education of a child.
Yes.
But how do you see parents respond to that? Do you face any resistance?
We started our brand Hi Kalpa in 2021. So, we were also thinking in the same direction, like whether parents will, help us in bringing this kind of education system to India. And then, but to be frank with you, when it came into reality, there was not at all any resistance from the parents. Parents loved it and they praised it like anything. They were surprised that a 2-year and 3-year-old child is, doing the activities on their own. So without the support from any adult. We want all the children to learn through their own experiences.
But you did mention that there are some policies that you have to adhere to, right?
Yes.
When it comes to academics.
Yes.
What do you feel are the gaps in the education system,
Yes.
particularly at the pre-nursery level? And how do you think we can address that?
When it comes to education system, education in India, okay, whether it is preschool, pre-primary, primary, or the higher education. So everywhere we have to teach children through books. You can't ignore books.
Right.
But apart from that, what other things you can provide so that the child's overall development is happening? What we thought in Hi Kalpa, that we will use story-based approach.
Okay.
We will use experiential learning.
Yeah.
We will also have experiment-based learning for our children.
Okay.
And we will have all the physical activities in place. We will have our playway learning methods. So we wanted to make education of fun as well as lifelong learners. Each and every concept at Hi Kalpa is taught through story.
Right.
So we have 3 characters. As you will be seeing these characters all everywhere in our school actually. Kimi, Debbie and Chiku. So, all our stories are based on these children. So, to make sure that the learning is happening at all the levels properly, this story-based concept is come.
Private education system, like the sector itself, sometimes it has been criticized for being too expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes.
so what do you think? Where do you think comes a point where quality education and affordability meet?
Education is not so affordable for all,
Sure.
right? There are IB schools, there are government schools,
Mhm.
right? So, and there are middle level schools, right? And now this scenario is also in the early childhood sector,
Yeah.
right? So you have preschools where they charge very less, you have preschool where they charge very high,
Yeah.
right? Instead of charging too high, you can be in a range where, I cannot say all, right? But majority people can afford it.
Right.
So this is why the Hi Kalpa preschools come in picture, where we have kept the fees, in that range so that majority of the parents can afford it, and where we are able to maintain the, quality as per the IB standards. Yes.
Let's talk about Hi Kalpa, and you've recently announced Hi Kalpa World School.
Yes.
Right. So the plans for that, and how do you think this institution is going to set it apart from the rest?
Yes. See, when it comes to the Kalpa World School, so it will be its own kind of school where the focus will be completely on experiential learning, where we will have associates from Finland flying into the school, and then spending time with our children and teachers so that they can train our children on the experiment and experience based learning. Then apart from that, we are going to create structures and spaces like a happiness lab, where each and every child comes in and they feel happy when they come to the school. So this is one of our idea, so that the mental health of the children should be taken care of.
Absolutely.
At the Kalpa World School,
Yeah.
we have planned a no bag policy for the children. Yes. So where the children, we don't want to come up with the huge baggage along with them. We want them to come happily and go happily.
So let's talk about your background. You come from an engineering and tech background, but now you're into the education space. So how did this all happen?
Even though I'm an engineer by education, okay, education field was always very close to my heart. Since beginning, I used to take tuition classes for young children when I used to be a student.
Okay.
Yeah, so I used to teach them maths and science and other concepts. So I used to love teaching. After finishing my education, I started working. I worked in various organizations. There was a turning point when I delivered my baby. So there was a guilt, like I'm not able to give much time to him, and full day he'll be just looking at the door, when will mama come. So I thought of starting something of my own, and then where I thought where I can balance my work life along with my personal life, and this is where I can say the entrepreneur journey started. I started my business journey with Fun Lab actually. In Fun Lab, we used to train school children, especially the higher school children, on robotics and aeromodeling. Because when we were teaching the high school children, there was a resistance from the students. The reason I found it was the early years, the foundation, right? So the children were not trained from beginning.
Right.
If they are habitual from beginning that I should do this and then only I will learn it, so then the resistance would have not come.
Right.
So this is why again I can come.
As an entrepreneur, you do face challenges like every entrepreneur does. So what were your challenges, and how did you come up with a solution for that?
When it comes to the early years or early education sector, the main challenge is to provide an holistic and overall development of a child.
Sure.
As I mentioned earlier, as I say holistic development, there should be mental development, there should be physical development, there should be emotional as well as social development of the child. So all these aspects should be taken care of. For me, this is the biggest challenge.
Right.
To deliver something which takes care of all these aspects. Then, as we say that Hi Kalpa curriculum is unique. So we made sure that we have something unique, some unique pedagogy, some unique concept where the children are learning on their own in a very funny way.
Well, I've also learned that Hi Kalpa is on an expansion spree.
Yes.
And you're doing that through franchise models.
Exactly.
And how do you ensure that the quality education that you are providing at your centers is replicated into these franchising models?
Yes. So we are ready to take Hi Kalpa Pan India through our franchising model. The very important thing is our curriculum, as
Right.
I mentioned. So we made sure that our curriculum is physically and digitally, available to all our franchise partners. So without this gap, or
Sure.
you can say the distance, we can deliver the same quality which we are doing it right away in all our preschools.
Right.
We'll be ready to support our franchisee partners in all the aspects. We will have our team going to the schools for quality check and doing the audits for the teachers and the center heads.
Preschool with a brand ambassador that's from Bollywood.
Yeah.
That's something unheard of. How
Yes.
did that come to be?
It was a very tricky thing for me to select a right brand ambassador for Hi Kalpa. So, with Amrita, I found that there is a synergy, between Kalpa, Hi Kalpa and Amrita.
Mm-hmm.
So when your mother herself, and that too for a preschool, nobody can understand better than you. Apart from that, she is fan of storytelling. Till today, she has not exposed her son to TV or mobile.
Wow.
So that was an amazing thing. I was very happy to sign Amrita as a brand ambassador for Hi Kalpa.
Now that you mentioned screen time, it's quite a challenge that parents face when it comes to exposure to screens and
Yes.
the free flow of content, which is,
Yes.
I believe, dangerous at times.
Exactly.
So, what strategy do you have in mind, having
Yes.
dealt with so many kids at such an
Exactly.
early age?
Exactly. So, this question came to me a lot of time from parents itself.
Yeah.
They are saying, during COVID, we all were running the classes online, right? Everybody, each and every child
Yeah.
was having a phone
Sure.
in their hands, and then they were learning online, everything. So now they are habitual. What to do? First of all, the parent should know what to show and what not to show to the child. Right?
Absolutely.
It's our responsibility.
Yeah.
We have to take this. We have to own this. At Hi Kalpa, we have incorporated our stories into our app.
The content at least is moderated
Yes,
when it comes to
it's well
platforms.
moderated
Yeah.
and planned for that age group.
Thank you so much, Shalini, for joining us in this segment of this talk. And we have learned a lot about the education sector, the importance of early childhood education, and the experiential learning and the importance of it all. So that was Shalini Sharma, the CEO and founder of Hi Kalpa, a preschool chain spread across Bangalore and expanding to more cities in the near future. So tell us what you think, and if you have any questions, do drop them in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more such content. I'll see you in the next one.